In this video, let's take a look at what I have in this project that I've been working on for a while that's getting way too complicated. So I'm going to try to split it apart, and probably delete most of it because it's not good enough. However, some of this is really interesting. I've got this level 2 not workable, and it's a whole city that's, well, it's way too slow. A lot of it also explodes like that. That's pretty cool. And I've set it up so that the bottom is static and the top is not. And the reason the lighting looks different is because it's not baked in yet. But there's some guys here, but they're way too hard and the frame rate's too slow for me to win. So he's about to take me out. Yep. That's pretty cool. Let's see what else I've got open. This one's great. This city, accidentally, there's a bug. The whole thing just goes up in explosion. Now let me try that again, but in the scene view. That's just pretty awesome. So I think what I did there was put a bunch of buildings on top of one another. A bunch of copies of buildings. Now in this one I've got a procedural city block. Let's look a little bit into this. I'm going to remind myself. Okay, one thing in here is there's a building geyser. If I activate this, one time a building exploded and I just saved it down. It's kind of fun. Deactivate. So I think what I did, I'm not going to try to reproduce it all here, but in building blocks, I have a city block, a building, and a floor. I think in here I activated this script, which is create row. So let's go take a look at that. It built a block. There's also create a building, build a floor, build a building, change some transforms in it, add it to parent, like compiling it into floors and buildings and a block. And this is creating with models that you choose. So you pick like a ground floor one and you pick 4 others. You assume that the bottom one is a ground floor and the top one's a ceiling. Something like that. And then it looks like there's also a building geyser script here. Because I was probably trying to do the same thing, but I ended up making a building geyser with this build block. Because it was making blocks on exactly the same position. Here's another one that just looked different. And I think finally, apart from changes to the first-person shooter Starter Kit Pro, I made this rotate text and spin text. But I think, let's see, level 1 looks like plain, just has some enemy waves. Level 2, that's the city I showed you earlier. 3. It's a different layout. And obviously the lighting's not baked in this one. Level 4. Oh, this was a demonstration level. Level 5. Oh, yeah, that one's reasonably fun. Physics aren't, it doesn't settle in quite right, so those things blow up right at the beginning. But then, no, I was expecting some guys to show up. Oh well. And I think that's it for this Gauntlet project, except for the changes, which some of them were substantial, that I made to the first-person Starter Kit Pro. That's it.